Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm back with an ice cream maker called the Blizzee. Now this ice cream maker you can supposedly make soft serve, but unlike the other ice cream makers I've tried in the past, it requires no pre-freezing, no salt, no ice. Does it actually work, and is it worth a $330 price tag? Let's find out in today's review, starting with the unboxing. This is not an optical illusion, that's actually how big the box is. It's huge, but let's crack this thing open and see what's inside. Instruction manual, always good. Right, inside the box there was a card of some sort. Looks like a very nicely prepared recipe guide. That's important. This was kind of in the box as well. I'm not sure what that is, but I'll find out. Now the top of the box says let it sit for 24 hours before using. In the quick start guide it says let it sit for 2 hours. That's a pretty big difference. I'll probably err on the side of caution and go 24 hours. But it's a nice looking machine. It's very heavy. This is no Ninja Creamy. This thing's heavy. But this is a soft serve ice cream machine. I paid $329.88 for this. And there were hardly any reviews online at all. I think there were 2 written reviews and 3 ratings. Not much. But they claim that it's a 1.25 quart soft serve ice cream maker. No pre-freezing required, which is the main reason I wanted to try this out. All the other ones I've tried, the Ninja Creamy, the Cuisinart, the Ninja Swirl, all require pre-freezing. This one supposedly doesn't. They say it features a built-in compressor, LED digital display. You can have delicious soft serve in 30 to 40 minutes, although the website says 10 minutes. I believe 30 to 40 is probably more accurate. In addition to no pre-freezing, you also have no salt, no chemicals, no ice required. 10 texture levels to experiment with consistencies from soft serve to scoopable ice cream. They also say ice cream will stay cold for 6 hours. Now normally I mention the pros and cons that are online, but there's hardly any reviews, so I'm gonna skip that for right now. So I'm going to read over these instructions, pick out something basic from the recipe guide, see what this is all about. And then tomorrow, after it's set for 24 hours, we'll get started. All right, I've read over the instructions. I have disassembled and washed it off. Let's go over the parts and the features before I start making ice cream. First up, the control panel here. Right here is the on-off button. We press this to adjust the hardness, and then you can select plus or minus. Right here is the cleaning button, and this is the make ice cream button. To disassemble, there are these 2 screws right here, and they give you a spanner here to loosen them if you need it. This bottom portion is the discharge outlet. It includes the handle, where you dispense your ice cream from. Inside we have a paddle, which is removable and washable. I've washed all that out as well. Down here we have a removable drip tray. We have a cover up here on top. And then we just pour our ingredients right in here. So we're not gonna really be able to see much. All the other ice cream makers I've used, you can kind of see what's going on. This one you can't. So it's not gonna be real visually exciting to watch, but hopefully the final results are. So I looked over the quick start card, which is pretty helpful. They have a beautiful recipe guide. Look at all these lovely recipes here. Dairy-based, non-dairy, gelato, sorbet. But what I'm gonna do first though, before I get too fancy, is I'm gonna make their basic vanilla recipe. The packaging said let it set 24 hours. The instructions said 2. I'm err on the side of caution. So I've got a few more hours left before I'm at 24 hours. So I'll come back then and we're gonna start making some vanilla soft serve. All right, it is time to make some ice cream now. The unit's been sitting for 24 hours, and I'm going with their generic vanilla soft serve option for my first test. Here we go. Now the recipe is pretty basic. A few ingredients. It says mix them together and pour them in. That's it. No ice, no pre-freezing. So let's see how this goes. First up, 2 cups of heavy cream, 1 cup of whole milk, 3/4 cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, and a pinch of salt. That's it. Step 1, mix all the ingredients together. Step number 2, pour into the Blizzee machine. I put this in a smaller container so it'd be easier to pour. Here we go. Pouring it in the Blizzee. You can't see anything, but it all went down there. Can you see it? Not really. Next up, turn the machine on. Next up, hit the make ice cream button. There you go. Now the 20 that you're seeing there, that's 20%. When it reaches 100, it's done. So they say it should take about a half an hour. So I can't wait to see how it turns out in about 30 minutes. We're at 100%. And, oh, here it comes. Whoa, it's kind of thick. They say if you're gonna keep it running to turn it down to 1 so it doesn't get too hard. So I'm gonna have to try this with it running. That's what we got. It looks pretty good. It's very well formed. Let's give it a taste and see how it turns out. The texture's a bit weird. I'm gonna let it run a little longer and see if it smooths out. It's a bit clumpy. Not what I expected, not what I wanted. Maybe letting it run a little longer will help things smooth out a little bit. So I'll come back in about 5-10 minutes, see what happens. And by the way, that was about 20 minutes. They say 30, it was about 20. But I'll come back in 10 more minutes and see if the consistency is a little bit better. All right, it's been going for about 10 minutes on level 1. Let's try that. Just gonna try a little bit. And now I'm gonna turn it off. Let me try now that it's been running at level 1 for about 10 minutes. I don't know, man. It's a bit clumpy. It'd be hard to mess up that recipe. It was very basic, only a few ingredients. I dispensed it after it hit 100. I set it on 4 like they suggested. Now what I'm gonna try to do is let it sit for a little bit. Because somewhere in their instruction manual, they say that if it's too hard when it dispenses, to let it sit for a few minutes to allow the ice cream to warm up and then dispense again. So I will try that. I'm gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes. Maybe it got too cold, but it's clumpy. Not a good texture. Taste is okay, but that's just not a good texture. Not a good texture. It was like ice cream chunks, not good. So I'll come back in about 5 minutes and then we'll see if it dispenses any differently. First round, I'm kind of disappointed. All right, it's been sitting for a few minutes here. Let's see. I'm not hopeful. Nope. I think it's just like fat separation. It's just not good. It's clumpy. It tastes. It's almost like clumps of butter in there. All right. So I think what I'm gonna do is clean this out and come back with another recipe. See if I can't get the vanilla right. Why move on to anything else? So I'm gonna come back with another round of vanilla after I clean this thing out. I'll make some tweaks to the recipe and to the settings here, and hopefully I can get it right. Round number 2. You know, I was originally just going to do 1 round of the vanilla, assume it was going to go well, and move on to the more difficult stuff. But I got to get the vanilla right. So I was looking at the recipe. I think I've got a few adjustments to make. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to swap the proportions of cream and milk. I'm going to go 2 cups milk, 1 cup cream. Then I'm going to make sure that the sugar is well blended in the milk before I add the cream. And third, I'm going to add something to stabilize things a little better, some light corn syrup. Hopefully that helps. I don't have any light corn syrup at home, so I'm going to the store. I will make this work. Also, I ran through a cleaning cycle. I had to go through about 5 times. They say to run until the water runs clear 5 times, which that's okay if the ice cream turns out well. But when you're just going from one batch to another batch, it's kind of a pain. But I don't just show my successes, I show my failures too, because sometimes it's a learning process, and hopefully that helps you as well, if you end up buying it. All right, I'm back to the drawing board for round number 2. Made some changes, let's see how they turn out. First up, 2 cups of whole milk, 3/4 cup of sugar, 1 tablespoon of light corn syrup. Now whisk. Now 1 cup of heavy cream, tablespoon of vanilla extract, pinch of salt. Move this back over here. Turning the unit on. Now we hit the make ice cream button over here. This one time I said level 3. Last time it was level 4, we're going down a notch. I'm gonna watch it closely. As soon as it hits 100, we're dispensing. I'll let you know when something changes. All right, we're at 100%. All right, it's softer. I'm gonna say visually, this looks better. Let's take a bite of this. This is what we've got. No clumps. That's right. The freaking updated recipe came through in the clutch. That's right. No clumps. That is soft serve. All right, well, the first round was a learning round. The second round, I made it happen. So what that means is tomorrow, we're gonna come back with something a little bit more elaborate and see if we can make that work. But what I'm gonna do right now is let this run for a while. They say reduce it down to 1. I'm gonna let it go for about a half an hour, and then I'll see if it's still producing delicious soft serve or if it's a big mess. So I'll come back in half an hour and see what happens. Now let's try it after it's been running for a while on level 1. After running for a little bit on level 1, it's pretty good, but there's a couple of little clumps in there, so maybe it's over processing just a little bit. But overall, I think this round was much more of a success, so I look forward to seeing what else I can come up with tomorrow. Let's move on to a pineapple sorbet now. Now, unlike other makers I've used where it has certain settings for something like sorbet, this one doesn't. Taking a look at the recipe here, the first thing I had to do was create 2 cups of pineapple puree, which I have done right here. So adding onto my puree now, 1/2 cup of granulated cane sugar, 2 tablespoons of honey, tablespoon of lime juice, a pinch of salt. Now I'm gonna whisk all this together. All right, it's time to pour it into the Blizzee, which was thoroughly washed last night, by the way. Not only did I run through the wash cycle, but I disassembled the entire thing and washed everything out manually and took a sponge and cleaned the inside out of that. So it's clean. So after everything's mixed up, pour into the Blizzee. All right, so next I'm supposed to turn it on and set the hardness to level 3 until it shows 100. And I'm gonna have to watch it because as soon as it hits 100, I gotta dispense. And we're off. We'll see how long this takes, and I'll check back when it's done. 100% at 24.5 minutes. First thing I do is put this down to 1. Let's dispense and see what we got. And it's pretty thick. I'm just gonna stop right there. I'm just gonna turn it off. It seemed to get stuck at 30 and then it gets stuck again at 90. There's the texture of it. What do you guys think? This is what we've got. Now for the big taste test. I waited a half an hour for this, plus a lot of prep time. Here we go. I mean, the flavor is good. Texture-wise, I don't know. I would say overall it's pretty good. The texture is a little bit gritty. That could have been the puree. Maybe that they didn't say to strain it, and I didn't. Maybe I should have strained the puree, but I think this one's a success. Although when I made pineapple sorbet with the Ninja Creamy, the texture is a little bit better. It does taste like a very strong pineapple sorbet. Even the texture is good. It's not crumbly like they said it might be. It looks beautiful. Look at that. It's good. I'm enjoying it. It's very, very sweet, good pineapple flavor, nice and cold, good texture. I think it's more of just an issue with the recipe than anything, but you know, it's pretty good. I would say based on my experience yesterday, this is a moderate success. So what I need to do now is finish this off. Clean this bad boy out and go for my final recipe, which is the most elaborate of the bunch. And hopefully I didn't spend my morning preparing a recipe that's a failure. I'll come back in a little while with my final recipe and put this thing to the test and see how it turned out. But first, a quick note about the recipe guide. Let's talk for a minute about this beautiful yet flawed recipe guide. There seems to be 3 issues I found with it. Number 1, they seem to be aware that over churning is an issue, which I think happened to me in my first round, because every recipe ends with serve immediately or change hardness setting to 1 if letting it sit on the counter for a prolonged period of time. So in other words, it's not clear that if you don't dispense immediately and or turn it down to 1, that it can overchurn. So to me, they need to make that clear. A giant warning sign would help. Number 2, and probably the worst of the bunch, is almost every recipe begins with prepare egg-free cream base as above. And there's no above. There's no egg-free cream base mentioned anywhere. Nowhere does it say, here's your egg-free cream base. Nowhere. So I kind of figured out that maybe the first recipe actually does give full instructions and the rest of them say as above. Maybe they're referring to that. I don't know. I'm making the assumption that that's what they're doing. But that certainly isn't. Nowhere, it doesn't say, here's the egg-free cream base to use from all the other recipes. It doesn't say that. And the final issue I had with this recipe guide is there really isn't like levels of difficulty. There's like one simple one, which is the vanilla one, and everything else requires, you know, like a large majority of them say in a saucepan, you have to heat things up. So there's a lot more preparation. There are a lot of simple recipes in here. Most of them are kind of involved. It looks nice. Good looks don't make up for bad character, so to speak. Anyways, let's get back to the review. For my final recipe, I'm going with this coffee cream recipe. Once again, it says prepare egg-free cream base as above. There's no above. But here's what I did. I prepared a cornstarch slurry with 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of cold milk. Then in a saucepan, I combined the rest of the milk, 3/4 cup heavy cream, 2/3 cup of sugar, and 2 tablespoons of corn syrup. I heated on medium and whisked until it was 180. Then I added 2 tablespoons of instant coffee grounds. Once that was dissolved, I added the cornstarch slurry. When it hit 203 degrees, I held that for 60 seconds, and then I poured it over 2 tablespoons of cubed cream cheese that had been softened. I whisked it all up and shoved it in the fridge. And now it's time to add it to the machine and see what comes out. Compare that to their instructions. Prepare egg-free cream base as above, which doesn't exist. Dissolving coffee granules and milk mixture, pour into the Blizzee. I think my instructions were a little bit better than yours, Blizzee, I'm sorry. But now it's time to pull it out of the fridge and pour it in here. Now the pineapple kind of went slowly. This has been in the fridge for a couple hours. It might even be slower than that, but I'll get it in there and we'll see what happens. And I was gonna use my small funnel for this, but the hole's too small for that. But I do have a funnel that will work, and that is this bad boy right here. This is called the Funnel Fit, which is not part of this review, but it's a great funnel. Not only can go in large or small openings, but it can stand up on its own. I'll leave a link to this in the description below because it's a great funnel. So here is my mix. You can see it's a pretty thick texture here. Let's see what this tastes like. Well, that tastes good. The recipe is good. All right, let's pour it in here. All right, they say to turn on and set to hardness level 4. Stopwatch is going. Based on the other recipes, I'm guessing it'll take about 25 to 30 minutes. So I'll come back then and we can give it a taste. All right, I gotta try it. It's too loud. 14 minutes, I gotta try this. That sound is not good. All right, shut up. My goodness. That did not sound good, but at 90%, it seems done. Here it is. So we've got, and there is the final result. What do you guys think? It looks pretty good. It's pretty soft. I just couldn't let it go like that. How could that be good for the machine making that kind of sound? Let's give it a taste test here. I mean, it tastes delicious. It tastes like soft serve. It doesn't taste like scoopable ice cream like they're showing in the picture. Of course, I stopped at 90%, but it also was about to explode, it sounded like. Good recipe. Good recipe. Creamy. Taste is good. It's well blended. And with this, I think I have enough to wrap this thing up. Let's take a look now at the pros and cons of the Blizzee. The first pro would be the speed. It created soft serve in about 15 to 30 minutes, which I think most people would think is pretty fast. Number 2 would be no pre-freezing. There's no planning ahead involved with this one. You can slap together some ingredients and enjoy your soft serve in less than an hour. Number 3, I would say, would be great texture results once you realize it has to be dispensed immediately. It handled everything from pretty simple to pretty complex bases. Number 4 would be the presentation. It's an attractive looking machine. It looks professional. All the controls are straightforward. It's a nice looking unit. Number 5 would be the cleaning cycle, even though I disassembled it after each round. It was usually pretty clean just from the cleaning cycle. Now let's take a look at some of the unfortunate cons with this unit. The first one would be that you really can't see your progress. There's a tiny hole that you really can't see anything with. That hole is so small, my small funnel didn't even fit. I would go so far as to say that's a design flaw. Having no ability to check on the progress or what's going on inside, it's not very helpful. Next up would be the babysitting factor, the fact that there's no alarm. You really have to watch it. It seems pretty vital that you dispense and turn down to 1 as soon as it's finished. To me, that is a huge oversight. And related to that, they tend to imply in the recipe guide that they're overturning is a possibility by telling you immediately dispense or turn it down to 1, but it's not really that clear. It's too bad that they couldn't have mechanically accounted for that and have it switch automatically, but they didn't. They leave it up to you and you have to babysit it because there's no alarm. Next up would be the recipe guide itself. As I mentioned earlier, it's kind of confusing. It might look nice, but they keep referring to a base that's not really that clear. I think most people are going to miss that and be frustrated when they try out the recipes. Next up would be mechanical strain. It seemed like it was kind of struggling with some of the thicker bases I put in there. On the last one, it was kind of banging. That puts it under stress, which makes you worry about this long term. I would say in the end, it does deliver pretty good results, but you're going to have to tinker with it quite a bit, and you have to babysit it as well. The cost is kind of steep. There's a couple things that I think consider to be design flaws, and the mediocre results kind of rendered the no pre-freezing aspect moot. If you're willing to babysit the machine and don't mind the quirks, it's actually pretty good. But if you want to set it and forget it experience or something that doesn't require a lot of oversight, you might be disappointed. But that's all I've got. If you've tried this or something like it, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.